there, Ariana from Crafting Happiness here. In today's tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to crochet the bamboo leaf stitch. And for this tutorial, I have made a sample in one color just to see the texture. It's double-sided, very beautiful. And then I have made a sample using two colors, and here I have a special way of changing yarn so you don't have to cut the yarn on each row. I will show you at the end after the tutorial, so stay till the end and you'll see how to make these patterns in two colors or multiple colors without having to cut the yarn on each side. So let's get started. For this tutorial, I am using Aran yarn and a 4.5mm hook, which is slightly smaller than the recommended hook, which is 5 for Aran, but you should use the recommended hook that comes on a yarn band for the yarn you're working on. I just like a tighter fabric. It looks better on video to show you the stitches. So let's start. My starting chain is 44. The recommended multiples for this pattern is 10 plus 4. And round 1 starts with a double crochet into the 5th chain from the hook. So counting from the hook, 5 chains back, make a double crochet, and then a double crochet in every single chain until the end. And this is row 1. Turn and let's start the second row. And the second row starts with a double crochet. Now there are 3 ways you can do a starting double crochet. You can do a chain 3, which is pretty regular. It looks like this. Then you can also make, start again, you can make a single crochet and then chain 2, and this will be a lesser gap between the first and second double crochet. And the one I use more often is a chainless double crochet. And to make a chainless double crochet, pull up a loop long enough to look like a double crochet. So just look below and pull a loop as long as the double crochet below. Then hold it with your thumb, roll it over your hook, and then insert your hook into the stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through these 2 loops, and now you have 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this one looks the most like a regular double crochet. Now into the next 2 stitches, make a double crochet. Next, we are going to skip 2 stitches, and into the third, we're going to start making the bamboo leaf. And that one is made with 3 puff stitches. So let's make our first puff stitch. And to make a puff stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a long loop. Then yarn over again into the same stitch, yarn over, pull a second one. And one more time, we're going to do this 3 times in total, and you're going to end up with 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then chain 1 to lock the puff stitch. And this is how you make the puff stitch. Then we chain 2, and again another puff stitch into the same stitch. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. We do this 2 more times. Just make sure the loops are the same length. Yarn over, pull through all, and then chain 1 to lock the puff stitch, and then chain 2 and the last puff stitch into the same stitch, we yarn over, pull through all, and chain 1 to lock it. And this is how it looks like. Now we skip 2 stitches. Make sure you're skipping the right stitches. This one here can sometimes be hidden, so we skip the next 2, and into the third we make a double crochet. Then make a double crochet into the next 4 stitches. So each bamboo leaf it's separated by 5 double crochet. Like so. Now again, let's make another bamboo leaf. We skip 2 stitches. Into the third goes the puff stitches. So pull 3 loops, yarn over through all, chain 1, that's a puff stitch, then chain 2, into the same stitch, another puff stitch. So we yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times. Then when you have 7 loops on your hook, pull through all and chain 1. Again, a chain 2 to separate them, and into the same stitch, another puff. All right. And then we skip 2. And this is your repeat section all the way from 5 double crochet, skip 2, the bamboo leaf made out of puff stitch, chain 2, puff stitch, chain 2, puff stitch, and then we skip 2. And you repeat this section all the way to the end of your row. So let me show you one full repeat. So we start from the skipping 2. That was part of the previous repeat, and we start with 5 double crochet. That's 1, and then we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you have your 5 double crochet, skip 2, and into the third one we make the bamboo leaf stitch with yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, repeat it 3 times. So that's chain 1, that's 1 puff, then we chain 2, put another puff stitch in there, another chain 2, and the last puff. Okay, and chain 1. All right, then we skip 2, and that is the end of the repeat. And you continue like this with these repeats until you have 3 stitches left. So it looks like I have another repeat in here. I will quickly do it. I'll speed up. If you want to see it again, you can slow down the video. But like I said, that's a repeat. So now after skipping 2, you have 3 stitches left. Make a double crochet in each. Okay, and the last one. And this is your second row. You have these bamboo leaf stitches separated by 5 double crochet. Now turn your work and let's start with row number 3. Again, do your beginner double crochet, beginning double crochet as you wish. I'll make chainless double crochet, and this row is just a row of double crochet, but I will show you where in the poof stitch to insert your 5 double crochets. So let's make 2 double crochet first, 1 in each stitch, and then we need to make 5 double crochet into this bamboo leaf to match the 5 double crochet below. And the first one is into the poof stitch, the second one is into the chain 2 between poof stitches, the third one is into the poof stitch, fourth one into that chain 2 space, and the tricky one is at the end, because technically you will want to insert your hook into the poof stitch, but if you do that, your double crochets will be offset. Your first one will start here and they will not align. So what I've noticed it works best, we are going to insert it into this stitch next to it. So we're gonna ignore that poof stitch there and go into the next. And that way the double crochets will align. So let me show you how it will look like. So we make a double crochet into the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see. This is, now you can see how they align, and you can see how these 5 align with the ones below. Now when it comes to your bamboo leaf stitch, we are going to insert the first double crochet is made into that poof stitch in the loop. Okay, so that's one in a chain 2 space, 1 into the poof stitch, 1 into the chain 2 space. We have 4 now. And the last one, like I said, don't do it into the poof stitch. Don't do it in that one, in a poof stitch. Do it into the stitch next to it. And now you can see how it aligns. Now we just continue like that until the end of the row, and just make a double crochet in every single stitch. When it comes to the bamboo leaf stitch, don't do it in that poof stitch, do it into the stitch next to it. I will speed up the video. If you want to see it, just slow down, but it's all gonna be exactly like here. And this is your third row. On row 4, we're gonna create the same bamboo leaf stitches, but we're gonna offset them and put them in between. So let's start by turning, and then we make a double crochet, a chainless double crochet. Then we are going to make a double crochet into the next 7 stitches, just to move the yarn along in between the bamboo leaf stitches below. So you should have 8 in total, and now you can see when we skip 2 and make a bamboo leaf stitch, it will be in the middle of the 2. So let's do that. So we skip 2, into the 3rd we make the bamboo leaf stitch by making a poof stitch, that's your poof stitch, and chain 2, into the same stitch another poof stitch, chain 2, and a 3rd one, and that is it. And then we skip 2. Now from this point I will show you what the repeat section is. This is where it starts after you skip 2. So now we are going to make 5 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then once we made the double crochet over the bamboo leaf stitch below, we are going to make a bamboo leaf stitch above those double crochets below. Skip 2, into the 3rd, make a poof stitch, chain 2, poof stitch, chain 2, and another poof stitch. And then skip 2. So this section here is your repeat section. 5 double crochet, skip 2, then into the 3rd you make poof stitch, chain 2, poof stitch, chain 2, poof stitch, and then we skip 2. And we repeat this until you have 8 stitches left. We make a double crochet in each remaining stitch. Let's do that. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, because it's a chainless double crochet, it's a bit tricky to find the stitch, but you can have one loop here and then the next loop there. And this is your 4th row, and you can see how the bamboo leaf stitches are offset from one another. You can actually look and see if you made any mistakes, if they are not centered. It has to be centered with the middle of those 5 double crochets. And now we're gonna move to the last row, row 5. So turn your work and make a chainless double crochet or a chain 3. Like I said, it doesn't matter how you start your row with a double crochet. And then this 5th row is again just a row of double crochets, just to separate the bamboo leaf stitches. I'll just show you one more time over this bamboo leaf stitch where to insert your hook, but it's pretty much just 1 double crochet in each stitch. So you have 5 double crochets below, so that's 5 double crochets above, and then you have 5 stitches from the bamboo leaf stitch, and you make 5 double crochet above those, and that's how it works. Right, so this time we have 8 here because it was offset, so your 8 double crochet, and now it's time to make your 5 double crochet just to go above these ones right here. to align them. So first one is into the puff stitch. You'll find the loop there. So that's your first double crochet. Then into the chain 2 space. Third one goes again into the puff stitch right there. They're usually smaller V's like that. Fourth one into the chain 2 space. And the next one, like I said, don't do it into the puff stitch. Don't do it, it will misalign your entire row. Do it into the next stitch. And you can't even see the gap in between. It looks like that. And then again, repeat that all the way until the end of the row. I'll finish this row and I'll meet you at the end just to show you how to change colors without having to cut the yarn on every row. And this is your 5th row. Now you can see the pattern. And before I go into the color change, I'll tell you the repeat rows, which are row 2 through row 5. So row 2, 3, 4, 5, repeat those until you have the desired length to your work. And for this pattern, the best thing is to finish with row 3, so 2 and 3, because you'll want the same pattern. So this here, it starts right next to the edge. You'll want at the end to start to finish with a row like this, where the bamboo leaf stitch starts 3 double crochets in. But yeah, repeat those 4 rows until you have whatever length you needed to have on your project. And now let's move on to the color changes. On my sample, I have changed colors every row. If you do it in a regular way, you'll have to cut the yarn on every row and then start again from the other side, and that is too many ends to weave in, too many opportunities for yarn to unravel. So I came up with a different idea, a different way that can be applied not just to this pattern, to many other patterns. And I'll show you what I did. So let's assume we have started our first row of double crochets, and that's our first row. And now normally you will want to join the green and continue on the wrong side like we did with the one color, but the yarn is here. That means you have to cut it and start from there. But what I've done is leave a big loop here and just continue from this end and crochet over until the end. And then I'll show you here at the end how to do it so this loop won't come off. So like I said, leave the loop there, move back to the beginning of your row. This way it's a bit, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So you have your green yarn, and then we carry it along the way. If you can see here, we carried it along the way. You can't really see it, but you can also crochet a border over it. So pull your yarn here and pull up a loop just to move the green yarn up, and then this is where you can't make an extended chainless double crochet, because if you rotate like this and insert it into the same loop, it will unravel because the yarn comes from that loop. So in this situation, you can't even make a single crochet and chain 2, you'll have to make a chain 3. And then we continue from here with a regular pattern. In this case, it's going to be 8 double crochet. I'm just going to speed up the video. You already know the pattern. I just want to show you what to do at the end. So now I'm approaching the end of the row, and we're gonna have this loop from the white yarn, so crochet all the way until the very last stitch. This one, I hope you can see it. It's a bit too white, but yeah. So now we need to make our last double crochet in here, but we don't want this loop to unravel, so we need to catch that loop as well. And how I do it is I insert my hook into the stitch, then through the loop, and then make my double crochet, and then I pull the loop and it's all closed. And this is how it looks like. It doesn't even look like we've been working on the right side all the way. Now going back, you just pull the loop, the white loop up, and then turn and start making the next row. It's a bit crowded, so just turn and start crocheting. And here you can make a chainless double crochet or a single crochet and chain 2 like this. And then you continue. Once you're done with the white, you go back and crochet with the green. And this is how the color change look like from far away. So this is the best way I could find to make a color change. I've tried different ways just to make the leaves green. It just didn't look right. So I think color changes every row looks good. And then this is a sample where they're all in the same color, like so. So yeah, this is how you crochet the bamboo leaf stitch. If you have any questions about this pattern, put them in the comments down below and I'll be more than happy to help you. Happy crocheting!